It has been observed that every religion talks about success, saying that if you believe in our religion, you will be successful. Islam says this, Christianity, all religions say that if you follow our commands, you will achieve success. And it is said about this that you will get this success after death. What are we to get in this world? Who has so much time to wait until the hereafter? And when we look at the societies of the world, look at Europe, look at America, look at the world's top billionaires who have resources, they are all atheists. Most of them are atheists, or some are agnostic. They have more resources in the world. They appear to be more prosperous societies. Crime is lower there. Whereas in religious societies, crime is higher even though they believe in religion.
The reason for this is whether people who believe in religion are actually following it in its true sense or not. This is what needs to be examined. And as for the societies of Europe and America, we may have 100,000 disagreements with them, but the rule of law is a fundamental demand of religion. All the world's religions say that you shouldn't deceive anyone, you should speak the truth, stand up for the truth, and that everyone has basic human rights. All religions talk about these things. Now, practically all moral teachings, all of them, I won't use the word, that they've stolen them from divine books, but rather, they have been carefully deduced, interpreted, and extracted from there over time. All moral values and moral laws, you see, every single one of them, they are all ultimately derived from divine books, scriptures, or holy texts. If humans have created anything at most, it is that they've made traffic laws, regulations, or other related things that govern our daily lives. All moral laws, without exception, are derived from divine books, which God has also placed deep within our instinct, our very nature, and our conscience. So, if you don't follow them, if you choose to ignore these divinely inspired principles, then you can see in Muslim countries too, in the UAE, they've brought the crime rate down to zero. There, in Dubai, the peace right now is of a much higher level than in Europe and America. You can leave your car like this and walk away. Nothing will happen. No one does anything because they know they'll be caught. So, this means that for peace in the world or for the rule of law, being a Muslim or a non-believer isn't necessary. Rather, following these things is necessary. Whoever follows them will get the results. Muslims only told people that these are ethical values, but no one acted on them. Because they didn't act, they are suffering. If they act, whether they live in Muslim countries or non-Muslim countries, they will see the fruits of it. And secondly, saying that, well, the rich people in the world are these ones. Tell me, is wealth proof that someone is the most successful person in the world? Well, maybe a poor man would say that this is the proof. Now, I won't give him examples like so-and-so became this or so-and-so became that. I will ask him whether this proof has just emerged in the world now or has it always been there. So if you go back 500 or 600 years, all the great rulers in the world were Muslims. They were billionaires. In those times, they enjoyed luxuries that even the President of America cannot afford today. So, will today's people be ready to accept them as successful human beings? They'll say, no, they'll say, how were they successful? They had wealth, but they exploited others. They didn't care about basic human rights, right? They oppressed the public. This is no criterion. So, sir, this means that wealth is not the only single criterion. It's a complex equation that includes wealth, ethics, character, and dealings. When you put the package of all these things together, only then is someone a successful human being. Okay, then when lists of influential people are made, why do they put our prophet at the very top? A man whose entire life was defined by poverty and hunger. It's worth noting, isn't it? Even they admit he is the most successful human being. So if wealth were the only criterion, then that would be the case. But that's not how it is. As for the other major criteria people use today, you won't find many of them applying to the prophet, peace be upon him. But he left a legacy. He left such a revolution that others didn't even last 100 years. Every revolution in the world usually ends within 100 years. Today, there's no one following Genghis Khan's religion, claiming to be a Genghisite or proudly saying they follow his faith. No, the Romans themselves abandoned paganism to become Christians, and those Christian Romans have now almost all become atheists. So no one is really carrying forward that legacy. Even the legacy of Jesus Christ isn't truly being followed. It's mostly just in name now. Yes, if you see a legacy, it's that of the man whose grave is in Medina. Peace and blessings be upon him. 100 years ago, not a single independent Muslim country remained in the world. The world had concluded that Muslims were finished, wiped off the map. A superpower that ruled over 3 continents, with everyone else paying them tribute for hundreds of years. Right? Then came the trial of the Mongols in between, and they overcame that too. Then came Great Britain, and it seemed that Great Britain was such a massive power that no one would ever surpass it. an empire where the sun never set. Human history had never seen such a vast empire that the sun literally never set on it. So tell me today, they are barely the size of a single Pakistani province like Punjab, with an even smaller population. Where is that empire now that spanned across all those continents? Well, when all these colonial powers finished their rule, having dismantled Muslim governments and states, they probably thought they had ended the legacy of Muslims, of Islam and of the Prophet. Sir, today there are 58 Islamic countries once again. Regardless of what their rulers are like, millions of people still go to Mecca for Hajj and pray 5 times a day. They hold the same belief in the oneness of God that was given to the Prophet in the Quran 1400 years ago, which he passed to his companions and family. So you still see this revolution in every street today, and even more than that, the leader of this revolution has long since left this world. Other revolutions reach their peak while their leaders are alive and then begin to decline. What kind of revolution is this, where the leader is gone? And even though thousands who initially joined due to his dominance later left the faith, meaning the Arab tribes who apostatized, even so a few people carried this legacy forward. And this legacy witnessed such a massive transformation that the Prophet himself did not see in his blessed life. And then those empires expanded and eventually fell, but the number of believers continues to grow. And today, the global media, along with nearly all of the world's vast resources and influential platforms, are actively working against this religion. Yet, despite these significant challenges and obstacles, it keeps on spreading and growing. Selfless people are... To launch any propaganda, you have to hire people, but here selfless people are dedicated, giving their heart, soul and wealth. You couldn't hire such people even with money. They are carrying this legacy forward. And it's not just a legacy, they follow it in their outward and inward lives, both publicly and privately, in the truest sense. And they pass it on to others, demonstrating their commitment with all their heart and soul. This kind of revolution is only seen through a personality whom God has sent as his representative to this planet Earth. Tell me, what legacy does atheism have? Who is their great leader, whose character they can present and follow? Their character and ethics only last until you step on their toes. When you challenge their principles and foundations, their behavior becomes just like that perverted religious nature, behaving exactly like the people they criticize. While for religious believers whom you might point out as role models, saying, look, he's so harsh, he did this or that, those are just a few individuals. Overall, they are harmless people. Those who believe in God do not wrong anyone, they fear him. And they sincerely believe that they must serve humanity and that they will receive their reward from God. If such people are produced there, they are a product of that culture. Here the culture is completely opposite, yet God-fearing people are born due to the blessings of religion. Even today, look at the Muslims in Europe and America. See what bona fide citizens they are. Even non-Muslims praise them because their religion taught them ethics, and when given the right environment, they performed at their best. If a few individuals, or even hundreds, choose to act against the teachings or principles of their religion, the religion itself should not be blamed. That would be like starting to criticize all Christians because of Hitler. It can't be that way, that's unfair. You can criticize an individual in the light of their teachings. You cannot categorically deny the entire ideology they believe in. Yes, you can have an intellectual disagreement saying it has this or that flaw. Does that make sense?